Good day, grade 10s. In this lesson, we will learn how to calculate the effective resistance of resistors in series. Before we do that, let us remind ourselves what it means to connect resistors in series. If you look at this animation, you can see that all the electrons flow through each component, one after the other. Let us now join Bruce as he shows us how we can use an easy calculation to calculate the effective resistance in a series circuit.
This circuit has two resistors connected in series, R1, which has a resistance of 10 ohms, and R2, which has a resistance of 12 ohms. What is the effective resistance of this combination of resistors? In other words, what is the resistance of that single resistor which would replace these two resistors and still allow the same current and the same potential difference to be maintained in the circuit? Let us recall what we already know about resistors connected in series. The current remains the same throughout the series circuit, the potential difference divides over the resistors in series, and the potential difference across all the resistors in series is equal to the potential difference across each individual resistor.
Now let's join Bruce as he investigates what happens to the brightness of light bulbs as we add more in a circuit.
We will start with just one light bulb in series, and I will close the switch and observe how brightly it shines. Let's compare this circuit with another circuit which has two identical light bulbs connected in series. Can you see that the single light bulb is glowing brighter than the two light bulbs in series? In the combination of the two identical light bulbs, do you notice that each of them glows with the exact same brightness, yet dimmer than the single bulb? This is because the potential difference is split equally between them. Therefore, each bulb will glow with only half the brightness than compared to the single bulb, as each bulb will only have half the potential difference across them. Can you guess what the effect would be if we connected three light bulbs in series in our circuit? Do you see that the three identical light bulbs in series are glowing very dimly, yet with identical brightness? Again, the total potential difference is split into three equal amounts and distributed evenly between all three light bulbs. Besides our light bulbs glowing more dimly as we increase the number of bulbs in series, what else is important in our circuit that we must take note of? Well, as we increase the number of light bulbs, we are also increasing the resistance of the circuit. And as our resistance increases, so the current in the circuit must decrease.
From this, it is easy to understand that the effective resistance of the resistors in a series circuit is the sum of all the resistors. We can write this as R effective equals R1 plus R2, where R1 and R2 are resistors in series in the circuit. Now let us go back to the circuit that Bruce showed us and calculate its effective resistance. As Bruce mentioned, we have two resistors in series, one that is 10 ohms and the other that is 12 ohms. Now let's use our equation to find the effective resistance. We know that R effective equals R1 plus R2. Therefore, R effective equals 10 ohms plus 12 ohms. So the effective resistance of this circuit is 22 ohms. This means that we could replace both those resistors with one 22 ohm resistor. Let us do one more example just to make sure that we know how to use this equation. What is the effective resistance of three resistors in series with R1 equal to 150 ohms, R2 equal to 230 ohms, and R3 equal to 50 ohms? Remember that we always list the information given first. We are told that R1 equals 150 ohms, R2 equals 230 ohms, and that R3 equals 50 ohms. Now we write down the equation that we will use. R effective equals R1 plus R2 plus R3. R effective is therefore 150 plus 230 ohms plus 50. So the total or effective resistance of these three resistors is 430 ohms. Grade 10s, in this lesson we have consolidated our knowledge of how resistors act in series. Remember that resistors in series are called voltage dividers. This is because the total potential difference is equal to the sum of the potential differences across all the individual components. Grade 10s, this is all for today's lesson. You will find more information on circuits at www.mindset.co.za/learn. Remember to try some of the questions in the task video. Goodbye.